Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. It's going to be an absolutely glorious day, my friends. I guarantee you that. And the reason why is because you came here, and it's all going to start about now. That's right. We've got Roberto Monaco in the house. Woo-hoo. Storytelling, my friends. You know how much Carl White loves storytelling. I love Carl's stories. Who love in the chat? Do you love Carl's stories? Do you love Carl's? I love Carl's stories, man. And, you know, and you can hear them over and over again, and yet, oh, this is one of my favorite ones. You know what I mean? It's so weird, but that's the way it is. Well, good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here. I hope you all did well yesterday. I see Kelly Dutton is back. Kelly, thank you for yesterday. That was really, really cool of you. I know a lot of you reached out to her because we see the emails blowing up, and we hope that, you know, that you can make some money, you know, with working with Kelly. I know you will. She's great. So, yeah, love the stories, love the stories, love the stories. Yeah, good stuff. Hey, do us a favor. Just, again, warm up the chat a little more. Let us know how you're doing. What's the weather like where you're at today? I tell you, it's rainy and cold in Northern California, and I love it. I love it.
Hey, Frank, I got 53 and partly sunny in Philly.
Really? Oh, today's Flux Capacitor Wednesday.
It is. I was just going to say, did you do it? Because I forgot to change my name.
Oh, all right. It's Flux Capacitor Roberto. On Wednesdays, we do Flux Capacitor Wednesday, where we're trying to figure out how much of the year is left. Like what percentage of the year is left. Can someone please figure it out for me, please? Can someone put it in the chat? How much of the year is, what percentage of the year is left? 2025. And then, of course, for Kristen, we need to know how many days till Christmas. So if someone could do that, that would be great. Come on, man. I know my crew can do this. I didn't do it. I forgot. You know, I was all wrapped up in other things this morning.
Well, you did have your 11th grandbaby this week, so we will give you some grace.
This is true. This is true. So, yeah, come on. Who's got it? Who's going to do it? So I know there's people out there who can. What percentage of the year is left? 2025. Let's go. And I can wait in weeks, awkward right, silence. 21%. What? Yeah, by weeks. Yeah. So 52. So 21%. Only 20. Can you believe we're down to 21%?
Wow.
It's crazy.
Holy shamoly. And 77 days till Christmas.
There
Kristen.
There we go.
Only 77 days. Wow.
I got a dent in the purchases, so I've definitely I've been ramping that up for Q4. You know, you gotta take a look at your numbers. You got to know where you are. You got to know where you want to end. And so I've been ramping that
up. Exactly. Good stuff. Well, it's terrific. 20. What's that, Chris?
The power 20 of the 80-20. This is the power 20. This
there you go. That's right. That's right. Wow. Only 21 days left. Hey, so if you feel like, let's do this before we bring Roberto on. We got just a couple minutes, just 2 minutes. I either want it, Kristen and Jen and Chris, I either want to ask, like, even though there's only 21% of the year left, and maybe someone hasn't quite hit their goals, but they still feel like they're in, man. They're in, and they got this no matter what. If that's you, you know, raise your hand. Maybe you haven't hit the goal, right? You haven't hit the goal, but you're in your heart of hearts, you're like, I'm still in, man. I am still in. Let's go, baby. Come on. Let us know. You could do it in the chat, or you could raise your hand, or I'd love to chat with somebody. Asa, on it. That's what I like to see. Yeah. So, and then also, hey, if you're ahead of your goal, you know, raise your hand or let us know in the chat. Are you ahead of the goal? I would love to see someone if they're ahead of the goal.
Marty Guy.
Okay. Come on now, let's go. Ahead of my goal. Really, Daniela? Really? Can you talk to us?
I can if I unmute myself.
Well, you certainly can. Good for you. Congratulations. How'd you do it? How'd you do it?
I'm not sleeping.
Indeed.
You guys have really helped kind of focus. You know, I said it when I was at the 2-day event. You guys have really helped me focus, and I was not there in January, February, and then it just took off. My first 3 months of this year was way over it was a year or two ago, and it was all refinances, and it was a lot of the things that you were telling me about reaching back out to my past database, which I didn't realize was one of my major pie charts of easy business. So thank you guys for homing me in. You're great.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, and congratulations. Glad to hear that.
Got to catch up with Kristen at the Christmas shopping, though.
Yeah, well, good luck on that. No, she's the master.
Exactly.
She's the master. And the good news is, I know I'm at the top of her list.
The naughty list.
Oh. Anyway, hey, man, let's get to the star of the show. Let's go ahead and get on over to Roberto Monaco. Influenceology, storytelling. Yeah, baby, yeah. Let's go, Roberto. What do you got?
So I was in between events, going from Orlando to New Jersey.
Yeah.
I did a talk in Orlando and had another one in New Jersey. And I don't know if it ever happened to you guys. You were like in the airport, then you hear this song from like 20 years ago, and you're like, wow, I forgot about the song. And the song was like this, was like, follow me, follow me, follow me. And I'm like, and I heard the loudspeakers, I'm like, man, I love that song. So I go in, I'm waiting for my plane, and I'm looking, follow me, lyrics, nothing, couldn't find it. Then I'm like, okay, I have to board. So I board, and I arrive in New Jersey, and now I took a Uber 40 minutes to my next event, and I'm looking, follow me, lyrics, couldn't find anything. Now I'm like, I remember it's my favorite all-time song. So I check in a hotel, go to my room, start searching, and then someone online put a little link, follow me lyrics, and then I want to show you guys real quick. So can I share my thing here? Hi?
Sure.
So here you go. Guys, ready? Here's the song. Follow me, follow me, follow me, right? So now I am, for 20 years of my life, I'm the guy in the party, follow me, follow me. And people like, look at this idiot. It's not follow me, it's call on me. Right?
Call on me.
Call on me, not follow me, it's call on me. And you know, I thought was one thing for 20 years. Guess what? Was something else. And when I teach storytelling, people think it's one thing, and by the time we're done, they realize something totally different. So I don't have a lot of time today. I have 25 minutes. I want to share with you the 3 reasons why you should become a storyteller for life, and that's why is the key for your business. And the second thing I want to share with you, I want to give you some ideas of how, as a loan officer, you can use to grow your business to finish up the year strong. Now, I learned storytelling, or the power of storytelling, when I was working for Tony Robbins. Some of you know I worked for Tony Robbins for 6 years. And when I joined the company, they gave me a 20-page script that everybody should memorize. And in the beginning, I memorized the script, and I was doing around 400 presentations for real estate agents. Imagine you go to a real estate office, do a talk. That's what I was doing. And I was really, really bad. I was promoting Tony Robbins events. I couldn't convert people. And I remember one time in a sales meeting, they fired the #1 salesperson in the company. And because I was the worst salesperson, I attached the meaning, I'm next. So I went to bed. I wake up 2 a.m., this crazy pain, called the cab. I went to the Jersey City ER. I thought something wrong with me. After 8 hours in the ER, the doctor said you're just stressed. Then I went back home. And I had this huge breakthrough. I realized, you know what? I went to the hospital because I'm so stressed because I cannot sell. So this is 2002. So I started buying things like the money that I had, Tom Hopkins, Zig Ziglar, Joe Maxwell, all those old school sales trainers. And everybody talks about the power of storytelling. And I'm like, this is fluff. This is not real. Give them the good stuff. But I noticed the way they were teaching through storytelling. And then when I look at Tony Robbins' script, by the way, he wrote the script, it was a 20-page script, amazing. I realized one thing. The script did not have my story.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time.
And then he said, "Know what? I have nothing to lose." I implemented right away. And my numbers didn't go from here to here, but went from here to here to here. And there's something to it. And then I jump in and I realized that one of the most powerful things you can do in communication, regardless if you're doing one-on-one communication, if you're sitting with a borrower, with a real estate agent on a phone, Zoom, if you're doing talks with estate offices, if you're recording video, is to tell a great story. So I want to share with you 3 scientific reasons I want to get into. Let me know, guys, if you can see my screen, please. Can you see it? Can you get a thumbs up, everybody? All right. So I have 25 minutes. So I want to share with you the 3 reasons, okay? And I really hope that by the time we are done here, you think, you know what? I wanna embrace this concept, okay? Number 1, if you want to write it down, when you tell a good story, there's a concept called identification. And identification means that when you tell your story and your audience of 1 or 10 or 100, they identify with the character of your story. Now, the character could be you, could be another realtor, could be a consumer. And when you have this identification, you have what? Less resistance. And if you think about it, in sales and communication, you want to have less resistance. And once you have less resistance, we want to create space for people start building belief on you and your ideas, and ultimately leads to behavior change. Behavior change meaning I'm not referring to you, I will refer to you. I don't want to do a loan with you, I'm trying to shop for rates. Now yes, I want to do a loan with you. Now, let me give an example here. How many of you remember this show, ER? You guys remember that? George Clooney? The younger generation don't know who it is. Now, one of my mentors, my first mentor, Eric Knowles, wrote a book about in persuasion. They did a study. And the study was, they want to see if a story that they play on TV was strong enough to move people into action, right? By the way, these are not real doctors. They're actors playing doctors. So they found thousands of ER viewers. This is published communication research. And here's what they found. Right? It is in a book, A Resistant Persuasion. 50% of people watch the show and discuss with the family members, not a big deal, right? Then you have the other group was 14% after watching a show of fake doctors, called the real doctor to know if it's true. Some behavior change. Now this is crazy, okay? The crazy part. 33% of the viewers use the information from ER to make health decisions, right? And that is the power. The power is not because the information is communicating through a story. They didn't care if the actors, the information is not real, right? The second thing that happens in storytelling is this: because you have less resistance, right? You're gonna have more connection. Now, how many of you here remember brand Extra or know the brand Extra, the gum? Extra used to be the #1 gum in America. They sold a lot of gum, right? They dominated. And then eventually they start losing market share. They went from #1, #2, #3. So now what they did, they hire a marketing agents to figure out how can you get market share? And the first consultant said, you know what? Let's promote our #1 benefit, that the flavor of the gum lasts longer. And they did it and failed. Then they hire another consultant. And another consultant asked a couple questions. #1, what is the context when you buy gum? Right? When you buy gum, where are you? For most people, they're in a gas station or grocery store, they're paying their groceries and they see the gum, they grab it, which means that it's an impulse buy, which means that for people to remember, it has to have a strong emotion attached to it. And #2, they say when you buy a gum and you have people around you, what do? You share. So then, this is really important. They made this story that I want to share with you. So here's the story they created.
Oh my God.
Give extra, get extra.
Now, anybody got a little emotional? Little TI, Jen? They're killing you? Now, so then they went from the third place market share, they regained the market share. Some of you saw the commercial. So here's the point. When you tell a good story, okay, the number one thing that happens in the audience minds, there's a concept called identification. That means they identify with the character. When you create this identification, the result of is number one, you have less resistance because people can counter argue your facts, statistics. People they're gonna have a harder time counter arguing you your own story. Number one. Number two, because you have less resistance, you increase the connection. Right? Now, and the third and last thing I want to talk about today, which is especially in your business, where you have a lot of competition, we have these big companies doing loans online, is that when you attach a story, okay, this is really important, to an object, research shows us that the object increases the value. And as someone who is in the real estate business, you know this. If you think about in your neighborhood, let's say you have the best neighborhood in your area, and you're walking in, there's two beautiful houses, the same house, the same floor plan. They're both for sale. One, Bob the accountant is selling the house. Number two, Beyonce is selling the house. Who is gonna sell for more? Which house is gonna sell for more? Most people say, well, Beyonce. Why? If it is the same floor plan, the same thing. Well, because there's the story attached to it. So if you think about in terms of like, I'll give you the example of Beyonce. If you have the two houses, beautiful houses in the same neighborhood, same house, same square footage, same everything. One house, Bob the accountant is selling. Nobody knows Bob the accountant. The other one is a famous celebrity. Let's say Beyonce. Which house is gonna sell for more? I have been asking this question and for over 1,000 people, and 1,000 people agree Beyonce would sell for more. And I say, what? Give me the logical reason. And people will say, well, because it's Beyonce. But that's not logical. That's like, that's demonstrate the power of storytelling. But I don't want to give it only this example. I want to show you. There's a study done, okay? By the way, a lot of people think, Roberto, how do I differentiate myself as a loan officer to a real estate agent, the consumer? How do I increase value what I do? There's many different ways. One way to increase the value, it's not the only way, is to become good at storytelling. I'm gonna give you exactly when to tell the stories. So this research is called significant objects, and you guys can search this online later on. So basically, communication scientists had the same question. If you have an object, okay, a coffee mug, for example, that you can buy for $1, and you attach a story to it, it's going to increase the value of the coffee mug, the same value or less value. Now, they did the study on eBay. So the stories were fake, but people didn't know about it. Right? People read it and they bought it. And then they receive a message saying, hey, you're being part of a psychological study. But just to give an idea, the smiley mug, which the market value was $2, sold for $32. Bowling bag salt shaker, which the market value is 50 cents, sold for $49. And the fake banana, which was 25 cents, ended up selling for $76. Now, if your business people realize, man, that is a great ROI. Overall, the first study, they done 100 objects. The market value was $128, end up selling for $3,600. Please remember this from this call. If you remember one thing today, remember this: facts tell and stories sell. So when you are presenting, you want to be able to start incorporating stories. The next question that you have is, okay, Roberto, I get it. How do I do it? Where do I do it? So if you're communicating for consumers here or future borrowers, here's some ideas, right? If you're doing a discovery call, have like maybe a 1-2 minute story about why you do what you do. Credit challenges. If someone has bad credit, find a story that you help rebuild and bought with you. First time home buyer. We all should have a story about someone who was nervous and then became a homeowner. Upsizing, growing family, new chapter. You gotta have a story for that. Downsizing. What is your favorite story? You wanna have those stories in the pocket. Refinance. I'm sure you have many stories, right? From that to stress freedom. Rate talk. Why lowest rates is not the best loan. So here's the point, which is a really important, if you want a very practical advice. When you talk to borrowers, you're going to have these kinds of conversations every week or every day or every month. So then if you know in advance that you are going to have these types of conversations and you understand the power of the story, then why don't you have those stories in your pocket so that when the opportunity arises, all you have to do is, hey, let me give an example. You literally say, let me give an example. And then you go into storytelling format and we come back. Now, you're not going to tell every single story you know in a call, obviously, or an appointment, obviously. But you want to, so these situations, I'm assuming you talk to them, do you encounter these situations every week or every month, right? Now, closing stories, another example. Social media behind the scenes, that if you want to use for promotion. How about real estate agents? What do you have for real estate agents, right? When you're prospecting, coffee meeting, how you save a deal, lunch and learn. If you're doing a lunch learn talk in a real estate office, you can talk about how you help someone to become successful. A tough deal. I have one of my clients who is one of the top loan officers, Andrew Russell in Long Island. And he's doing a podcast now. He has something called the MacGyver moment. MacGyver moment is how he save a loan. It's kind of funny. MacGyver used to save everybody. How he saves a transaction. Weekly update, mini case, networking. I mean, the recruiting. If you wanna have someone work in your team, for example, you could use that. So the idea here is that I want to stop sharing here. The idea. The most important thing that I want to communicate here to be respectful of your time is this. Number one, storytelling. There's a lot of scientific reasons why you should be storytelling. I covered only 3 today. There's more. I don't have time. Now, if you understand the power of the story, the next thing that you have to figure out is this. Every day as a loan officer, either A, I talk to consumers, B, I talk to realtors, C, I talk to both. And usually, most of the topics is the same thing over and over and over. Is that fair, guys, to say? Is that fair to say? So if the topics are very similar then, and we understand the power of a story, we should create a little storytelling database so that when someone asks you a question, then you can pull the arrow of that story and be able to tell. If you do this over and over and over, your communication will become better, you become more influential, and you become more successful. So, I know last time we did a little Q&A. Do you want to do a Q&A here, Frank?
I got a question for you.
I do too.
Roberto.
I do too. Frank,
Yeah.
you first, Frank.
Okay, so my question is can you teach us, is there when you're telling a story, is there a kind of a go-to sort of format for the story? Like, you know what I mean? Like how that story gets constructed in order to be influential?
Let me give you if you don't write it down, the 7 C's of storytelling. 7 C's. These are the 7 elements of a story. Context. Okay, I always start with the context. You describe what was happening, give a kind of little overview. Then you introduce the characters, the 2nd C, and the characters could be you, could be a real estate agent, could be a consumer. Right? That's the 2nd C. And the 3rd C is the challenge. So let's say you tell a consumer someone had bad credit. That's the challenge. Right? And the challenge could be anything. And then the fourth C is the conflict. Now, if I were to analyze 100 stories, the conflict usually people don't like to reveal because sometimes they don't want to be vulnerable. But being able to talk about the conflict, no conflict, no story, that is the secret sauce. So in the example, let's say you talk about a potential home buyer had bad credit. Then what is the conflict of having bad credit? He was embarrassed, talked to 5 people before, right? And then, so we talk about the context, we have the character or characters, you have the challenge, you have the conflict, and there's always a moment of clarity. We like to call the moment of change realization. Now, the moment of clarity, if you're a loan officer, then the moment is when they met you, right? The aha moment, and then they met me, and then I start helping them, and then I start working with a company. So that was the aha moment or the clarity moment. And then the next C is the change, right? So what are the steps that you use to help that person, or the steps you took to help yourself? And then the last C is the call to action, is overall the message of your story. So as a recap, you start the story with the context, don't spend too much time. The next one is the characters you introduce. Could it be you, could it be a real estate agent, could it be a consumer? And then there's a challenge, right? The realtors are broke, the realtor had no leads, the consumer couldn't get along, right? And then the conflict, what the conflict is the character, right? That person dealing with the problem or the challenge. The result is the conflict. That's what it is. And then you always have this clarity moment, the aha moment. And because now we show up, our services, we show up, right? As to help them out. And then the change, we give like 1 or 2 quick steps about how the person changed. And then you have a call to action, which is the master of the story. So when you build your story, or you build a story about a real estate agent, let's say a social proof or a consumer, that is the format that I recommend you guys to use. I call the 7 C's of storytelling. Now, sometimes a story like my Follow Me story didn't have all the formats. We call anecdotes, which has some of the elements, had the context, has the clarity, has the characters, doesn't have all. These are short stories. But if you're talking about your personal story, or you're talking about the probably the biggest category you're going to be telling is going to be consumer stories, real estate stories, agents, your partners that you tell for other realtors or other future borrowers, they're going to follow the 7C pattern. And then when you become really good at it, you can start overcoming objections with the stories. But that's how I build it. Great question, Frank.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sharon, what do you got? Oh, Carl, sorry, I skipped you.
Oh, no, the queen first. Go ahead, Sharon.
Please, indeed.
I can see where these stories can be extremely helpful, and I really like the seven pieces to this.
Okay.
And it sounds like, that if you're going to tell a story, you don't want to take over the whole conversation. You want to be brief. Yeah. So I was wondering, because you don't want to lose them. So is this about a minute and a half?
Very good question. I have a belief that context shapes communication. All right. So I've been to Carl's event, right? Frank's event. When they're on the stage, their stories takes 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Why? Because that's the context. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's an amazing story. Now, if you're having if you're doing a Zoom presentation with the phone, and it's the first time you're meeting someone, then I recommend to have a 1-minute story, right? Maybe 30 seconds. You guys can search this online. There's a bunch of people who teach the 6-word story, right? They literally how to tell a story in 6 words. And I'm exaggerating here, but probably takes like 5 seconds to the story. But if you were rehearse these elements, you can tell a story with all these 7 elements in 30 seconds. And being able to write and rehearse. Hey, let me give an example. So let's say you're asking questions, have a good conversation, and then you want to demonstrate something. Then you say, hey, let me tell a quick story here. Let me give an example. And then you go in story format, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds and come back. If you're doing one-on-one presentation Zooms. Now, if you're doing more like a real estate office presentation, then I'm totally fine if a story takes 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Totally fine.
So is it best to start your story to say, let me give you an example, or let me tell you a story, to pull them into that and say, we're going to step away from what we're talking about. Let me just tell you a story. I'm going to come right back to it.
I like to say, let me give an example. Because remember, people want to hear the stories, right? People conditioning, I didn't have time to talk about the science, but the way human beings survive and evolve is because we have the capacity to share stories. And think about caveman. We didn't know how to write. We didn't have iPad books. So the idea how we transfer knowledge from one human being was through storytelling format, because it has emotion built in. So their brains, your audience brain, is primed for it, right? So having those story categories, and that's something you can do with your team, and let's do our best 1 minute story. Could be 1 minute. So you don't have to prep them, because in my experience as a storyteller, when you tell a story, people relax, be like, okay, because that's when they are not working. Netflix is story, TV shows are story, books are stories. It's funny because on their leisure time, they're going to go storytelling mode. And when you do business, we think it's not relevant. Guess what? It's even more relevant.
Okay.
Right? And one more thing, I'm more about AI. I use AI. I love AI. If you want to compete in the AI era, lead with your story, because that's anybody can come up a home buyer class, for some home buyer class, do one prompt in AI, you give in 15 seconds, but being able to transform the information into meaningful connections, experiences, meaning for them is through the power of storytelling.
Carl.
Man, good stuff, Roberto. I was sitting here when I was writing down your 7 steps here, or 7 parts.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, and you said do it in 30 seconds. I thought, how is that possible? But dude, every commercial we watch on TV in 30 seconds gives me context, character, challenge, conflict, clarity, change, and a call to action. And they do it in 30. They do it in 30 seconds. So I've always thought, watching commercials helps me out, seeing how they do it. So very clear. Hey, so my question is, when I'm telling it, like I'm in a group of real estate agents, and I'm just getting ready to talk about a strategy we call follow up, refer back, like whatever. And so our average agent increases their deals that they close with us. We average, I think it's 114 or 113% increase in their business when they start to work with us. They have more closings, both listings and buy side. So if I was to say, so on the follow up, refer back, let me give you an example. Realtor Sarah over at ABC Realty, she had an increase of 113%. And she tells me what she did with that extra money is insert in some cool, her daughter this or son that. She got her husband out of the mine, or like whatever. Like every time I give an example of, hey, they increased or they did this or now they bought their home, how important is it to tie in? They didn't just buy a home; they play with the kids in the backyard.
So in your example, it's brilliant, right? That's the part that changed what the result did for them, 100%. But if I want to retell the story, remember what pulls people is that identification, is the challenge and the conflict. So Sarah had this business. She was working 12 hours a day, and then one day the son was playing soccer, and the dad called, "Hey, are you coming to see him?" "I can't because I depend on his lead." And it was one more time of hundreds in her career that she missed it. And she said, no more. She reached out to us. See what I just did? She reached out to us, and we started doing she embraced our follow-up process. Wasn't the next day. We don't do magic, but it's a system. Then first week got some action. Second week, and now she's getting all these amazing things. She's helping the husband, helping the kids. See, now we have the 7 C's. When you told an example, you had the. So we want to build the parts that, because that's what, and the whole idea of the challenge, the conflict, that's what people are. So when you speak into that, I'm not saying, hey, I know you have it. I'm saying Sarah had this challenge, yes, and I'll be like, oh, that's me. Now I'm gonna be like, I'm fully vested. And now what happens? This is really important. Now what happens is I forget about Sarah's story is my story. So now I'm future pacing my life through your story. Oh, I can do that, right? They call transportation. Is a technical term. When people get transported, I live my reality because I'm just like Sarah, don't have deals, and now I'm like, Carl, I am her, and I want to achieve like her, and I want to be able to provide. So that becomes super powerful. But I love your tie-in, buddy. How you tie in the result and then what she was able to do. So,
hey, one more question, Roberto. So now I noticed when we started today, you opened with a story,
for a
right?
reason. Yeah, for a reason.
You opened with a story. Do you recommend doing that? Like if we're going to do a presentation, maybe that's not a coffee appointment. Maybe it is. I don't know. But if we're doing a presentation, do you recommend kind of opening with a story?
So I always go back to context shapes communication, right? If I'm going to meet a real estate for the first time, I will not do it. I will not do it. I will be more super curious about asking questions, connecting. I will not do it in a one-on-one setting. I will not do it. Now, if I am in a real estate agent office doing a talk for 15 minutes or in a seminar for sure, that is my go-to move. Why? Why my go-to move? Because there's a study done on the drivers, the what drives human beings. Not values, not beliefs, things that are deeper. There's 16 of them. One of them is curiosity. As a human being, we are curious, right? Curiosity, what allow us to evolve. And when I start talking about, hey, I was in New Jersey, I have a song, Follow Me, and you're like, why is this guy talking about Follow Me song? Why? And you'd be like, why? What's gonna happen? It's because I don't have much time to connect here with you, so I wanna engage everybody right away. Right? I understand the context. This is a half an hour class. So, and I want everybody engage right away. So for my talks that I do, my number one go-to move is a story. I don't acknowledge them. I don't say anything. I just jump. And some people go like, now, obviously later on, once I build up that story, then I do a quick intro. I acknowledge them. But now because most people open up a talk saying, good morning, how are you guys feeling? How are you doing? I'm so glad to be here. Stuff they heard 1,000 times. So I want to no attention, no influence. So I want to elegantly, respectfully. I want to break the pattern. And I have many. Like this morning, I was preparing. I'm like, which one? I have several that I use, and I choose that one because I just love that one. It's funny. Like I tell the story. 6 months later, someone text me, follow me, call me. It's sticky, right? It's sticky in their head. So anyway.
Hi, thanks for enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube. I just wanted to drop in and remind you that if you're a newer loan officer and you're trying to get to that 2 or 3 deals a month, or if you're seasoned and you're trying to get from 50 to 60 or 60 to 80, Mortgage Marketing Animals has you covered. We've got the full gambit from start to finish, top to bottom. Everything you need is at mortgagemarketinganimals.com. There's a reason that mortgagemarketinganimals.com is the #1 mortgage coaching platform in the country. So check it out, mortgagemarketinganimals.com. Hey, I put your website link into the chat. Is that a good way for people to engage with you?
Yeah, they have a little storytelling training, 10 stories you can use in presentations. This is great if you guys want to get it. Yeah, that's great.
So we can get it from the website? Just you can grab it there?
Yeah, it's a free course. Just put your email and I send to you.
Wow. Okay, so it's influenceology.com. I put the link in the chat.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat. And it's the word influence, the way it's spelled, and then just ology on the end of it. Yeah. So influenceology.com for those who might be listening on a podcast or something like that. But you can grab 10 stories. We can grab it there?
There's 20 videos, 10 stories, then I teach them how to use them.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, Frank, I just thought of something, man. I was just sitting here thinking of the most influential people that have shaped my mortgage career. Yeah. And dude, the 3 of them are on this call. This is weird. Like, Frank, you for sure, you know that. My brother Chris Johnstone, huge influence on my mortgage career. And brother, wherever I am, wherever that is, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my main man, Roberto. I've learned so much from that guy. It's just been such a blessing for my life, you know. And dude, I'm sitting here watching you do this. And, you know, it's kind of like if you're a musician, you never watch somebody play the piano the same way as somebody that's not a non-musician. Brother, you are just poetry in motion. You know,
Thank you, man.
it's just fantastic. So yeah, you definitely want to get hooked up with Roberto. He's a super nice guy, and I've learned so much from him. And this is not a pay. Roberto's not paying us to do. We bring him on here because he brings such good value. And however, if you want to make a donation to the Carl White Foundation, you're certainly welcome to.
By the way, he just used a guy. I want to like Carl is the kind of guy because I like the science of social influence.
Yeah.
Carl has this innate thing of doing that. He just works for him. And then it goes, because what he just did now, he used humor, right? He used humor. And he just like made everybody laugh. And there's a great book if you want to study. It's called Humor Me Seriously. It's about a Stanford professor talks about the science of humor in business. And when you make people laugh, why you convert more. So I'm saying, buddy, you're brilliant, you know, innately you're right on. So this is great.
Hey, we need to do like all kinds of side. We need to do is your live events you do, are they 2-day, 3-day? How many days are they?
Well, I just finished up last weekend. It's 2.5 days.
Do it. All right. We need to do it. We need to do another one of those.
Yeah. And I'll tell a quick story. I'll tell just a quick story about, by the way, who come to our class. I have people who done 1,000 talks, people who done 100, and people who have done one. I had this, I was doing this 1-minute exercise about charisma. I say, come here, talk about anything you want to talk about. I just want to teach about body language, eye contact, filler words. And I had this girl come to me on a break, bawling. I'm talking about bawling. I can't do it. Just can't do it because she get into her background, the story. I can't do it. And then I found a moment in her life one moment that she felt confident, and I pulled that moment and say, I just wanted to feel this way. So I went with her, you know, in front of a room. Anyway, the end of the story on Sunday is the presentation day. When you say, who wants to present? The lady raise her hand and say, I want to go first. So the reason I said this is because if you or know someone that you love, they get caught up like the fear of judgment, imposter syndrome and stuff, you don't have to live that way. Like, you have too many people to serve, too many people to help. You don't have to live that way. So I would love to do, buddy. You guys are family for me, and I'm always open for.
Hey, Chris, you want to hear something cool, man? So I know something you don't know. This will be the second time in my career that Chris didn't know. So, dude, you're Ashley. Roberto, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
So I had one of my nieces, Ashley. She has a different last name now, but Ashley Duggins. And Ashley could not graduate college until she took a speech class. And she was absolutely devastated to have to take this class because she had to give a speech.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
And she had this unbelievable fear of that. Like it was all consuming to her. And we wrote a check and flew her out to Roberto. Do you remember this, Roberto?
It's one of my favorite stories all time.
Oh, so we flew her out to Roberto on a one-on-one for her and her dad for like 2 days.
For a day. We came for a day. We spent literally 8 hours, and it was so crazy. Can I finish up the story, Carl?
Wait. Let me give the end of the story, and then you can tell the beginning. The end of the story is she has now worked for Chris Johnstone. So she's his, like, you know Diane in my office, Roberto. She's his Diane. So she's been working with Chris now for about 8 years. And
that's so awesome.
And just communicated with so many loan officers across the nation and helped them out. And so anyway, so you finish the story, Roberto.
So I remember it was me, Ashley, and her dad on a room, and I look at her Facebook picture. There was a picture of her skydiving, and I'm like, she coming here to overcome fear? I never skydive. I mean, literally. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. So I was having a conversation with her, and then normal. Me and my dad sit down in the room, normal. And then I say, Ashley, can you do me a favor? Can you stand up here, go in the corner of the table, introduce yourself? She couldn't do it. She stood up, and then I'm like, wow. So I pull all my intervention techniques, all of them. So in that other day, she's speaking. I remember her dad said, I want to see in real life, right? And then I kept coaching her until her first presentation. And then I remember she called me from the car, Roberto, today is the day. I'm going to the class. I say, you can do this. And then right 2 hours later, she posted on my Facebook, got 100% A. Thank you so much. You know, I have goosebumps. Just thanks for bringing that up, buddy. That's beautiful.
Well, I just read because she's been working with Chris now for what 8 years, something like that. And Jennifer she worked with Chris and Jennifer. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And, yeah, she has helped change so many lives in the mortgage industry.
Hey, Roberto, your fingerprint. She gets all the credit. But your fingerprint is on each and every connection she's made over the last 8 years. And it's been thousands and thousands and thousands. So good for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What a great show today.
God.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah. Roberto, thank you, man.
Roberto, that was
so
amazing.
awesome, brother. We'll get you back. We'll get you back again maybe in a month or so. Sound good?
Love, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, everybody, for inviting me. And we'll talk very soon, all right? God bless.
All right.
You.
Hey,
Bye.
Roberto, real quick. Somebody said they went to the website, but they couldn't figure out how to get the whatever.
If you go to is this one here real quick? If you go there, I want to make sure they go the right
Share your screen if you'd like. Yeah, and show
right
us.
here.
Yeah,
this right here. Still, this 10 money making stories. Right
so
here.
it's a pop up that pops up.
Pop up.
So maybe whoever went there, we couldn't get me a pop ups turned off.
Yeah, just you can email me or can email me. I'll add the link. I'll add the free course.
Can they just do it on the contact? If it doesn't pop up, can they go to contact and then just are you gonna put your email in?
Yeah, perfect. And I just add them for free.
Well, there you go, Roberto at influenceology.com. That's easy.
Perfect.
So
Love, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, brother, and
Bye-bye.
thanks to everybody else. Thanks for showing up, man. We really appreciate it. I hope you got a lot out of today. Don't forget to be here tomorrow. Owen Lee will be here, and I think we got a lot to talk about there.
This is gonna be a hard act to follow, though. I'm just saying.
It is. Yeah, we won't tell Owen that. We'll see if he opens with a story tomorrow. We'll just see, and we'll critique him. Yeah, we'll give him some. We'll give him some help in the
Owen's
chat.
a master presenter. This is going to be like I don't know, Lance Armstrong and
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. Well,
I'm kidding.
I was going to say like Tom Brady going one-on-one.
I meant to do that.
So anyway.
All right, you guys have a great day, man. We'll catch you guys here mañana. Have a great one, man. Adios,
Thank you, brother.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.